Today, we're going to explore a theory that may forever change the way you see your favorite childhood cartoons. So, if you thought those animated characters were just innocent fun, you might want to think again. This is the dark truth behind childhood cartoons. A conspiracy exposed. Cartoons. For decades, they've been a source of joy, laughter, and entertainment for children worldwide. But what if I told you that beneath the colorful animation and catchy theme songs, there lies a hidden agenda? An agenda so dark and twisted it would make your childhood heroes seem more like villains. Over the years, conspiracy theorists have suggested that many of our beloved cartoons were created with a sinister purpose. These shows, they argue, are filled with hidden messages and subliminal content designed to control and manipulate the minds of young viewers. But to what end? And who stands to benefit from this manipulation? Let's start with the basics. Many cartoons are filled with symbols that, at first glance, seem harmless or even nonsensical. But when you start to dig deeper, patterns emerge. Patterns that suggest something much more sinister at play. Take, for example, the all-seeing eye, a symbol often associated with secret societies and shadowy organizations. It's a symbol that has mysteriously appeared in countless cartoons, often hidden in the background. But what's it doing there? Is it a coincidence? Or is it a clue to something darker? According to some theorists, these symbols are part of a larger effort to indoctrinate children into a certain way of thinking. The idea is that by repeatedly exposing kids to these images, they become desensitized to the influence of these symbols in the real world. But that's just the beginning. What if these cartoons are doing more than just planting subliminal messages? What if they're actually altering the way children perceive reality? Imagine a world where the lines between fiction and reality begin to blur. That's what some believe these cartoons are doing. Training young minds to accept the unreal as real, conditioning them to trust cartoonish, exaggerated versions of reality over the actual truth. Now, you might be thinking, this sounds like a stretch. But consider this, how many times have we seen cartoon characters behave in ways that would be considered psychotic or downright evil in the real world? And yet, these behaviors are often portrayed as funny, entertaining, or even heroic. From the slapstick violence of Looney Tunes to the chaotic antics of Tom and Jerry, children are exposed to a level of violence that, if it happened in real life, would be terrifying. But because it's in a cartoon, it's not only accepted, it's celebrated. Could this be part of a larger effort to desensitize children to violence? To make them more accepting of chaos and disorder? And it doesn't stop at violence. Consider the way some cartoons portray authority figures, often as bumbling, incompetent, or even villainous. What message does that send to a child? To distrust authority? To reject the idea of structure and order in favor of anarchy? But who would benefit from creating a generation of children who are desensitized to violence, who distrust authority, and who are unable to distinguish between reality and fiction? Some suggest that it's all part of a larger plan by powerful organizations to create a more controllable population, a population that's easier to manipulate, easier to distract, and easier to control. Imagine a world where the people in power can keep the masses entertained and distracted with mindless entertainment, all while slowly eroding their ability to think critically or resist. It sounds like the plot of a dystopian novel, but some believe it's happening right now, and cartoons are one of the tools being used to make it happen. But before you dismiss this as just another wild conspiracy theory, consider this. Why do these themes persist across so many different cartoons from so many different creators across so many different decades? Could it really all be a coincidence? At the end of the day, it's up to you to decide. Are cartoons just harmless entertainment, or is there something more sinister lurking beneath the surface? Could it be that the shows we grew up loving are actually part of a larger plan to shape our thoughts, our beliefs, and our actions? The truth is out there, hidden in plain sight, waiting to be uncovered. So the next time you sit down to watch your favorite cartoon, ask yourself, what are you really watching? And who's really pulling the strings? As always, stay weird.